Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday night motorsport for the RSRA Super 2 series for round 11. And we are coming to you live from down under in the cold front of Melbourne, in the lockdown state of Melbourne, I should say, and overlooking the ocean at Phillip Island Raceway here. And what a track to be at for the second last race of the season for the Racekraft Simulations Phillip Island 160. And the drivers are really going to be wanting to make a standpoint tonight, leading into the final round next week at Bathurst. We head to New South Wales next week and head up to Bathurst, Mount Panorama for the finale of this season. And the drivers are going to be wanting to make a statement tonight to show who's going to be fighting for the championship and to try and finish as high up on that board tonight to give them the best fighting chance to take on our current championship leader, Jamie Davis, who's out to a nice, comfortable lead at the moment. Matt Davis, Dean Reddit joining you here tonight in the commentary booth, and obviously JP, our director, in the ears as usual and on the buttons, giving you all these amazing camera angles and all the amazing overlays that you see on the broadcast. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you're watching from in Australia and around the world on all our social platforms, whether they be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and what a night of racing we've got in store tonight, Dean. And the drivers are really starting to fire up. Simon Vella, obviously, no surprise there, top of the leaderboard at the moment, but a bit of a surprise is the Riot Sim Racing 2 and 3 of David Nash and Bruce Tannick. Your teammates are currently locking out positions 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's good to see the boys back up there. They're always thereabouts on the pace. They've struggled a little bit in qualifying so far this season, but yeah, I'm not too surprised to see them there. Just seeing them behind the scenes go at it, they're two regular users of the sim, so it's great to be back in Australia. It was a relief to be back there last night. You know, we're all on for a good finish to the championship here, but also, Matty, you know, those top 3 positions, it's all about automatic qualification into Split 1 next season as well, so there's plenty to play for.
There is definitely plenty to play for at the end of the season, so why don't we get down to the nitty-gritty business, ladies and gentlemen, and find out what's going to be happening around Phillip Island tonight in the 4.45 kilometre circuit with the brisk cold wind coming through. As I just said, ladies and gentlemen, 4.5 kilometres in total length tonight. 36 laps they will be, 36 times they'll be going around Phillip Island tonight. Total race distance, 160.2 kilometres with a pit lane speed limit of 65 k's an hour. 52.8 litres of fuel restriction on board tonight. 2 pit stops, 3.4 litres of fuel burn a lap, and 2 sets of tyres going on these cars. And you want to be seeing the critical lap number for these guys to be coming in tonight is about, you get about 15.2 laps out of a tank. So the critical lap's going to be about 14, 15 that you're going to be seeing them if they're running the long stint. We did see Jamie Dyke last night, though, pull off an unbelievable fuel strategy and pit strategy. Pit on lap 3 under the safety car, pit on lap 20, and then do the long run home of 36 laps. And he managed to come from all the way at the back of the field to finish in 5th position. So that was an amazing feat by that man right there. 1st of September 2021. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in September. We're almost at the end of the year. 9:10 a.m. race start, so almost 12 hours in the past for us. 18 degrees air temp, 19 out on track with a nice cold westerly wind direction of 19 kilometres an hour. And Dean, that might be playing a little bit of havoc to the drivers coming down Gardner Straight tonight.
Yeah, Gardner Straight is the primary area there for the tow. It's very helpful also for fuel saving, so that's going to give the lead car a little bit of a disadvantage having that headwind. So looking for drivers to set up and move potentially into turn 1, more likely into turn 2 there.
Well, you know, doing corners a little bit hard to get the move done. We know the inside line likes to get covered, but if you can do the under-over into the southern loop, you can also set yourself up coming through Stoner Corner and then finally pit them into Honda Corner. So watch out for that one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You can see a 2, 3, 4 car battle going on from the exit of, or should I say the entry to 12 and you'll be finishing up at turn 4. So watch for those long battles tonight, and we'll flick up some championship points to find out who exactly is on the hunt. And if you've been watching the broadcast and the series for this season, you'd be knowing that Jamie Davis is out to a nice, comfortable lead. But Simon Vella, he is on a charge, the man on a mission to chase down Jamie Davis. And Jamie Davis really has to get a wiggle on tonight, because he knows next week is double points round. So that's where the championship can all come undone. But Jamie Davis is currently in the championship. Simon Valla in hot pursuit. Robbie Bradbury, Simon's teammate, in hot pursuit as well. Only 3 points separate them. Tony Gaffer in 4th, Adam Moore in 5th, Cole Zink in 6th, Stephen Martin in 7th, Jonathan Bain in 8th, Scotty Barton in 9th, and David Nash rounding out your top 10 there, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Turner, Alex Schuler, Justin Pennefather, Daniel Schultz, Benny Sirens, Stead Miller, Timmy Mulford, Troy Allen, Bruce Tannick, and Nathan Clive rounding out your top 20 there. We've rounded out the top 30 of the field here. Stephen Banks, Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Hayden Smith, Will Yesberg, Jason Schooler, Brian Good, Peter Kelly, Stephen Lawrence, and Anthony Visma. And then we've got the last 10 drivers of the field on the next screen. It's Blair Van Ree, Craig Casper, Craig Gurry, Scotty Short, Gary Crittenden, John Nikolaev, Darren Robb, David Leslie, and Robert Braw. And a couple drivers there who we haven't seen for quite some weeks. And unfortunately, real life work commitments unfortunately get in the way, and you simply cannot make it to race night on a Wednesday night. But that is qualifying currently wrapped up by the looks of it, Dean. Pace car coming out, so we'll since we've got a little bit of free track to ourselves, we may as well send JP. What do you reckon?
It sounds like a good idea. Let's get a hot lap on board with JP here around Phillip Island.
Welcome to the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series and Super 2 E-Series. I'm JP, and today I'm going to take you on board my Goodyear Auto Care Warana 888 ZB Commodore for a hot lap of Phillip Island. I'm looking for a good clean exit out of turn 12 onto the Garden Straight. Going cleanly through the gears, making sure not to hit the rev limiter. Get the car all the way across as far as you can to the left of the track just before doing corner. On the brakes now, trailing the brakes, turn early, get on the power, nice and early, get a clean exit out of doing corner. Get the car across mid-track, trailing the brake into the southern loop. We're using the brake and throttle here to balance the car. Get on the power, nice and early, coming out of the southern loop. Nice and smooth application of the throttle, going through the gears. Flat through Stoner corner. As soon as the car straightens up, on the brake hard, shifting down to first gear into Honda. Short shift into second, get on that power as early as you can. Get the car across to the right, use the ripple strip as a guide going into Siberia. Nice and early on the power to exit here. Now we're on our way to turn 7. We can take this flat through here. Enjoy the roller coaster ride through Hay Shed as we head up to Lukey Heights. About mid-track, shift into 4th gears, trail the brakes as we go across Lukey Heights, coming down here. Early on the brakes, shift into 1st gear, through MG, early into 2nd gear, short shift into 3rd gear as we go around turn 11, and now we're looking for that all-important run through turn 12 here, balancing the throttle to help the car turn in. Going through turn 12 as fast as we can, and we're on our way to the finish line. Well, that was a hot lap of Phillip Island for the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series and Super 2 E-Series. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much for that one, JP, and what a lap that was around Phillip Island Circuit, ladies and gentlemen. That just gives you a bit of an insight to what the drivers are going to be facing tonight. And it may seem an easy track to navigate, but in fact, it is probably one of the most difficult tracks that I've driven on, with the low grip levels on the outside line, especially coming up through Lukey Heights. You find yourself on the outside there, Dean. Not much grip at all.
Yeah, get offline in a lot of the corners around this track, and you're going to suffer big time. And track like Phillip Island, it's fast, it's free, and you've got a smile on your face holding onto one of these cars the whole way around. Yeah, and it's well known. So even though we're here tonight watching Split 2 drivers, the times they're on par with with some of the top drivers in the Super Series. All these guys know this track inside and out, so it's going to be hard fought tonight.
You'd hope they'd want to know. It's the home track to a lot of people.
There we
Craig
go.
Schultz! Craig Schultz goes around in the safety car, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a Lee Davis moment. He hasn't quite mowed the grass, but he's tried to give it a little bit of the berries, and Craig Schultz has turned the Sims Shed Broadcasting safety car around. We'll get a good Euro camera on a replay of that one, ladies and gentlemen. Find out what in the world happened to Craig Schultz just on the power, coming up over Lukey Heights. And the Porsche just did not want to play ball at all there, Dean. And for the first time this season, we've seen the safety car go off track, and expect to see Craig Schultz, ladies and gentlemen, cop a little bit of flack in the Discord chat after the race, because all the drivers can actually see Craig Schultz going around while they're in the drivers' briefing, which is what they're in at the moment. And that's the other thing as well. We've just been notified. We've just had a quick driver's brief from our director, JP, that there is 2 pit exits at Phillip Island. You've got the long line, which shoots you out at the bottom of Doohan's Corner, or should I say the entrance to Doohan's Corner, and gives you a nice run. Or you've got the short exit that pops you out about 3/4 down the main straight. And just past the start-finish line there, it is at the end of the white barrier. That's where drivers are going to be popping out there, ladies, tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They're popping out at the top exit and coming out into live traffic with speeds of up to 280 kilometers an hour. So expect to see a little bit of, not carnage, should I say, but a lot of drivers running along the pit wall. And if they're not informed by their spotters, watch for the big dive out to the right-hand side of the track at the very last minute when they do see a car pop out on pit lane. You're not quite up to speed there because you've only just crossed the pit lane line as well. So watch for that one tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because that's going to be a big pinnacle of turner of the race if they can't get up to speed quick enough, if the driver is going for an undercut or not. Now, Dean, you raced here last night as we've Craig Schultz just clocks another lap with 131. We'll I'll ask you that question later on as we get back to the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Safety car will be drug and breathalyzed before race start, race control says. So let's get into the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Race control having a bit of a laugh over Craig Schultz. Simon Vella and David Nash will lead you off the front row. Bruce Tannick, Mark Turner off row 2. Timmy Mulford, Robbie Bradbury off row 3. Justin Pennefather, Stephen Martin off row 4. Troy Allen and Benny Siren will see themselves out of row 5. And Brian Good and Jamie Davis see themselves out of row 6. Jamie Davis finally made himself way up. Adam Moore, Jonathan Bain out of row 7. Kyle Zink, Tony Gaffer out of row 8. Stead Miller, Anthony Vismer out of row 9. Row 10 will see John Nikolaev, Stephen Banks. Row 11, Jason Schooler, Scotty Barton. Peter Kelly and Stephen Lawrence out of row 12. And then we've got David Leslie, Daniel Schultz out of 13. Out of 14, we'll see Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson. Out of 15, Will Yesberg, Craig Gurry. And then Alex Schuler will round out the back of the field in 31st position out of row 16. Revs are rising for the Racecraft Simulations Phillip Island 160. We got 4, we got 5 lights. They're out. Simon Vella smokes them up off the start yet again. And that gives David Nash, Bruce Tanning, Mark Turner, Timmy Mulford, Justin Pettifer, Robbie Bradbury, Stephen Martin, Troy Allen, Jamie Davis, Benny Siren the gift to go past him. Into turn 1, Doohan's Corner they go. David Nash leading the way into Southern Loop. And Simon Vella with a shocking start. He's gone from 1st to 10th already, ladies and gentlemen. And that's not what you want at Phillip Island. He managed to get around Jamie Davis though in the background there. Down into Stoner Corner they go for the first time. They line themselves up into Honda Corner, the slowest corner of the track. Bruce Tanning has a look up the inside of Nash. Gets it done nice and clean. Very nice move there by Bruce Tanning. That allows Mark Turner and Justin Pettifer to close the gap just a little bit further. Those two had bolted until then. David Nash gets back around Bruce Tanning now. What a race start we've got, ladies and gentlemen, so far. This is going to play the set the pace for the tonight's race. And by the looks of it, it's going to be an interesting one. David Nash, Bruce Tannick battling it out the front of the field for lap 1. They're on cold tyres. Up over Lukey Heights they go for the first time. Into turn 10, another tight, slow corner. into 11, and rounded up into 12 to lead themselves down Gardner Straight to start lap 2. And Dean, by the looks of it, a very clean start, but a very shaky start for one Simon Vella.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Simon. Critically, Jamie Davis has got in front of him now as well to start lap 2. But the boys at the front, they've got away well. They capitalised on that poor start from Simon, and they're looking to bolt. So this is the frantic phase of the race. These opening 2 laps, this is where you're jostling for position before you settle down into single file, and it becomes more about strategy. But perfect start for our 2 boys at the front there. So they'll be looking to bolt away, work together here. There may have just been a bit of communication onto hairpin there that for David just to stay wide if Bruce was just perhaps outbraked himself, and he's just allowed him back past. So it's good start for us and a good start for the front half of the field.
Very good start for the top 10. They've all made up positions. Jamie Davis off the race start, ladies and gentlemen. Got those tyres hooked up, made up 4 positions already, and he's in 8th. Colesing up 5. John Nicolaith up 6. Scotty Barton up 7. Daniel Schultz with an amazing start, up 9 positions. Same with Craig Gurry, but the biggest losers at the moment, Will Jesberg. Will Jesberg, that is not where he wants to be. Goodyear Autocare, we're on a replay right here, ladies and gentlemen. What happened to Will Jesberg? Is it a blown motor? Coming down into Honda corner.
The puff of smoke. No puff of smoke.
No puff of smoke yet. Could this be a technical issue from Will Jesberg from the Iridium Motorsport team? We don't know. But he's dropped to the back of the field. Brake lights are off and he's moving again. So whatever issue Will Jesberg had, he's got that fixed. And he's going to try and limp that back to the pit so he's not impeding on anyone else. The biggest loser at the moment, Brian Good, Adam Moore, and Tony Gaffer. All 3 of them are down 13, 11, and 15. So a poor start by those guys right there. But at the moment, David Nash, 1:29.04, fastest lap of the race right now as they come down in a Honda corner for the 3rd time this race. And his teammate, Bruce Tanning, all over the back of him. Justin Pennefather has managed to pit Mark Turner. So Justin Pennefather now in 3rd position. Mark Turner, Tim Mulford, Robbie Bradbury, they stay where they are. Simon Vella, he's up into 7th position. So something's happened between Alan Zink and Davis whilst we were looking at the replay of Will Jesberg. Something's happened to Davis. He's dropped down to 10th position now. And he's going to need to get a wiggle on, Dean, if he wants to try and play damage prevention to these championship lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that could be a case of him just getting on the dirty line, as we mentioned prior to the race starting. And, right at this phase, you want to be getting into your rhythm and just finding a comfortable zone. And especially for Jamie, he doesn't have to force the issue with Simon. He just needs to find a spot that's safe for him to run in and eventually start to chip away and focus on the strategy that's going to evolve over the course of the next 2 pit stops. So, he's still solid inside the top 10 there, but Simon's going to try and make his way right back to the front of the field. He's got to do it. He's got the pace to do it. And for the championship, we hope he does get right back up there.
4-1-2, drive through for contact on the 411. So that's Jason Schooler on Tony Gaffer, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Schooler will see himself take a trip to pit lane for contact on Tony Gaffer. So there's a little bit of insight to what happened to Tony Gaffer there, why he's lost out on so many positions. And Troy Owen, fast lap of the race, 1:28.96. He is on fire at the moment for the Middle Row Finger Racing crew. Quite a few brake log-ups in front of Peter Kelly right there. That'll be Stefan Lawrence and Daniel Schultz, ladies and gentlemen, into Honda corner. A very, very tricky place to brake. Will come in hard on the brakes. You're at 260 odd kilometers an hour, and you're hard on the brakes to bring it all the way back down into 2nd gear. And Dean, Honda corner, one for a lot of overtakes, but one for a lot of brake lock-ups and overshoots.
Yeah, well, we seen the main incident and talking point of last night's race come in there on lap 1. Very easy, especially racing close together in the pack. Very easy to not watch what's happening in front of you and get caught out on the brakes. We've got one car off. Is that Peter Kelly off in the background?
That is Peter Kelly.
But yeah, it's a good fun corner. Let's see what happens to Peter here.
Goodyear Autocare run and replay, ladies and gentlemen. Dean, talk us through this one.
We're coming down is Reed Park. Yeah, it pinches the rear brakes, probably gets a bit hot, and then it looked like he caught the car there for a little bit, but then it just continued around on him on corner exit. Uh, Again, not very hard to do that either, Matty.
Car 90, Scotty Barton, drive through penalty for car contact on the 84. The car 84's Adam Moore. So Scotty Barton, Adam Moore came together. Scotty Barton, unfortunately, is going to be taking a trip to pit lane. And back to what you were saying, Dean, very, very easy to do down in the Reed Park there off the top of Lukey Heights. The car, if you can get it into that groove, we can stay on board here with Bruce Tanning here for a second, JP. We'll be able to show the viewers this little dip that I'm about to be talking about. There's a little dip in turn 10, ladies and gentlemen, which really likes to take the car around if you can get it in there. But you can't jump on the power too early because you're all the way back, as you can see, in first gear. You click second about now. And Bruce Tannick dives it right onto that ripple strip, and it pulls that car around for him. And then you're short shift up into third, and then short shift to fourth to make your way back around into turn 12 and onto the main straight. So if you can really line that up and get the power down correctly there, you can get the car gripped up and a nice run through turns 11 and 12. But at the moment, David Nash, Bruce Tannick, they are bolting, Dean. They are bolting from Justin Pennefather, Mark Turner, and Timmy Mulford. And Robbie Bradbury's in that battle. Simon Bella's in that battle as well. And Jamie Davis just having a really hard time at the moment trying to get by Kyle Zing.
Yeah, it's been a great start for the two at the front. I can tell you firsthand that two Kiwis to our team, good mates off the track. And to use Bruce's words to David the other day, you will earn everything when you come past me. He doesn't let anything go easily, even for his own teammates. So, he will give Nashi hell here for the next couple of laps and see whether he can maintain pressure as Davis makes a nice move down in Honda as well.
Davis with the inside of Zing into Honda. And Brian Good will be seeing himself to pit lane as well, ladies and gentlemen, for car contact. Kyle Zing, though, fighting back to Jamie Davis as they come through Siberia. And then up through 7, 8 onto Lukey Heights. Past the Hayes Shed they'll come. And up into Lukey Heights, down into... already forgot the corner name off the top of my head. I just had it just before I just said it. And obviously, as a mental blank, there's that much going on through the heads, ladies and gentlemen, that you kind of get mixed up. And Jamie Davis manages to hold off the battling Kyle Zing. So he's free to charge ahead to Troy Owen now. Catch up to him, give him the pace, and try and make his way back onto the back bumper of Simon Bella and play the damage deficit of the championship lead that he's got. He's got a nice little buffer, but he wants a little bit more leading into next week's race, because next week's race, it could be the meaning of another 1 point championship win, like we saw it last season in the main game on Tuesday night. But at the moment, Simon Vella all over the back of his teammate Robbie Bradbury. And Robbie Bradbury's not going to be making it easy, because Robbie Bradbury's actually fighting for championship position as well. And Simon Vella up the inside of Bradbury. So Bradbury goes wide a little bit and allows his teammate Vella to go through. So a little bit of team orders, I believe, on that one. Through Honda, they come. A little bit of a pinch of the brake by Robbie Bradbury. Jamie Davis, you can see in the background. There he is. He's hunting down Troy Owen. He's got Kyle Zing all over the back bumper of him. And Troy Owen now on the back bumper of Simon Vella and Robbie Bradbury. So this is going to turn into, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This could be turning into an 8-car freight train for 4th position. This could be turning into an 8-car freight train for 4th position very, very shortly. If Jamie Davis can close the gap back to Troy Owen. And it's going to be red and yellow the whole way down our timing board here, as we go to start lap 7 of 36. Well, lap 7's already started, should I say. Lap 8 now. Lap 8 of 36. And watch for drivers going into the pits. Anthony Visma, Jonathan Bain already taken their pit stop. Same with David Leslie. Those guys have already taken a quick pit stop. They might have been trying to do the long game run here. Bella's all racing at the moment here, Dean.
Yeah, he's looking to sum up Timmy Mulford here and move by and keep this recovery going. He's on the outside here, and Timmy, he's got some pace here this week. He's not going to make this easy for Simon.
Is it going to go all the way around the Honda? Can he hold on and battle Timmy Mulford into Siberia? Gets around the outside of Mulford into Siberia. That invites Troy Allen into the mix as well. Troy Allen's got around Robbie Bradbury. Troy Allen can't get it done on Mulford. And Troy Allen around Bradbury can't get around Mulford. Simon Vella now into 5th.
Yeah, no, that's good move by. I didn't see Troy make the move, but he's got by. And, you know, taking a moment here to big up Robbie Bradbury, who's third in the championship. And, you know, he's just been the pillar of consistency all season. Not one that we've really seen too regularly on the podiums, but, you know, this will be really interesting because he's currently in that 3rd spot, the last of the automatic qualifiers for the top split for next season. And he's now got Jamie Davis, who's in direct competition with his teammate up ahead. How hard does he battle Jamie Davis here? Because he wants to preserve that 3rd place as well. So he's got a few decisions to make here over the coming laps.
Well, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 battles in front of you. Simon Vella gets around Mark Turner into Doohan Corner. Troy Allen's going the long way around Doohan Corner to line himself up for the southern loop on Timmy Mulford and gets it done. So how about that for a camera angle of the battles going up on at the front of the field? Simon Vella now 4th, Mark Turner 5th, Troy Allen 6th, Timmy Mulford 7th, Bradbury 8th, Davis 9th. And this is the main battle we want to be watching right now. These two are looking racy. Nash, Tannick, and Petherfather, they've bolted at the front of the field. They have bolted. Simon Vella's 3.5 seconds abreast of Justin Petherfather in 4th position. So the top 3 have got a nice comfortable lead. Can they hold it into the first pit stops? Or are the guys chasing them down going to try the big undercut and pit that little bit early? You can pit now. You can pit now and find yourself, if you play the fuel strategy right, getting home. Just remember that. Who just got Taylor then? That was Troy Allen getting Taylor. Robbie Bradbury now tries to go around the long way of Mulford. Not going to get it done in this corner.
It might have been
So
a little
Allen
rub
has
there.
a bit of a moment in front of Mulford.
Yeah, well, we've got Bradbury diving in and Mark Turner diving into pits now on lap 9. So they want
And
to take the
Cole
move.
Thing. Benny Siren in as well.
Yep, they want to make the move now to get out of traffic. So looking for clean space on track to try and undercut the drivers in front.
Well, they can get home from here. They can get home from here, Dean, if they play it right. So they're going to be going for maybe a short splash and dash as one of the 9.5 boys overshoots his pit bay by quite a long time. That's the 9.59. That's Benny Siren. So Benny Siren overshot the pit bay by quite a significant margin. Turner and Bradbury drop at the same time, and they're going. They're out of the pits. Zink's out of the pits. Siren's out of the pits. So a short pit stop, 10 seconds. 14 and 13 for Turner and Bradbury. 10 seconds for Kyle Zink. Jonathan Bain had a 10-second pit window stop. So he was one of the first to pit. So he was able to pit Zink and Turner in that pit stop. But remember, he's going to be coming in a lot earlier than these two. But all eyes on these guys at the moment. These guys have absolutely bolted from the front of the field. Absolutely bolted. They're out to 2 seconds over Justin Petherfather, and it's another further 2.8 seconds back to Simon Vella, who's trying to claw his way back. Anthony Visma on your screen at the moment. And he's got Peter Kelly all over his back bumper, hunting him down over Lukey Heights. You haven't seen too much of Anthony Visma this season, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Peter Kelly, Anthony Visma. Visma runs wide. Peter Kelly gets a little bit too happy on the right pedal and has managed to catch it. That's promoted Tony Gaffer onto the back bumper of these guys. So it's a 3-way battle now for 14th position. Just ahead of them, Andrew Johnson from the E1 Sim Racing crew.
Yeah, we're going to start to see a few little battle trains develop now where it's guys running packs together. To be in a draft range of a car in front is pretty crucial here, but when you fall off the back, it's very hard to get back up to that car in front. So you need to do it via strategy after that point. But yeah, crucially, we were speaking prior to the race, you know, about what was important here, whether pitting early was important for the undercut or staying out and trying to take really short fill. And we got Peter Kelly now having a look down the inside of the Honda, and Visma covers well. Has he bit off too much, or has he pulled it up? He's got to the apex well, so Yeah, just going back, we're talking briefly pre-race amongst ourselves, you know, with the guys in clean air now, much like Simon did last week, taking a chapter out of his book, you know, looking to deploy the long run and track position and try and get it going there.
One of the 9-5 boys goes around the middle finger racing, boys. So that's Kyle Zing around Jonathan Bain. Jonathan Bain now fighting back with Zing as they come through Siberia. They're going to go for a drag race up to the hay shed. But Kyle Zing is too quick out of Siberia around the outside and gets Bain. Roy Allen, Stephen Martin, Stephen Lawrence, they're in the pits. So everybody's pitting early tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The long runners, though, so far are your current top 10, which is Nash, Tanik, Pennefather, Valor, Mulford, Davis, Miller, Nikolaev, Schultz, and Johnston. Johnston finds himself in the top 10. But for how long?
Yeah, it's again, yeah, we're looking at these guys going long at the front of the field to take advantage of this track position. Yeah, it's we practiced this during the week as a team, you know, racing in close proximity to each other, and you know, David will be sweating there with Bruce behind him. He will not give him an inch. He'll go for it. There'll be no team orders here.
That's good to see. That's what we like to see, is a good, hard race with no team orders in it, ladies and gentlemen. And team tyres around Phillip Island, they really do cop a flogging on the right-hand side.
Yeah, mate, very easy to overheat a tyre here and suffer again for a couple of laps after that. So it's about getting in the flow, you know, and when you're in a position like we're on board here with Bruce behind a car, sometimes the best choice here is just to sit there and not force the issue too much and cook your tyres. So you can see how strong the draft's working here as he comes right up onto the back of David Nash.
The draft is strong, even though with those westerly wind directions. And Mark Turner cops himself a stop and hold penalty for car contact.
Must have been on his
That's going to really, really hurt Mark Turner's race. He was up there at the front of the field, and he now finds himself down the back of the field in 24th position after completing a pit stop and a stop and hold penalty. So Mark Turner's got a lot of clawing back to do. Jamie Davis, though, up into 5th position now. He's hunting down Simon Vella, who is 5.5 seconds up the road. Runs wide into Honda. Can this be a redress? Was there a little bit of a move? Jamie Davis gets squirmy out of Honda. Up the inside of Siberia of Timmy Mulford. So Jamie Davis, by the looks of it, ran himself too deep into Honda on the brakes. Timmy Mulford capitalised on it. Tried to get around him and make the move complete through Siberia, but Jamie Davis just got a good drive out of Honda and was able to get the move. Through Lukey Heights they come.
You can see Jamie after that initial missed apex, his car's just really wriggly on corner exit. So Timmy can smell blood in the water here if you can put the pressure on for the next 2 laps and not let him get away.
Well, that's not helping his fight towards Simon Vella at the moment, Dean. He's now 6.7 seconds away, so he's going to be wanting to have a look at trying to come into the pits very, very shortly. Lap 13 of 36 now, ladies and gentlemen. So pit stops, they're going to start to light up. These boys up front are running the long game. Peter Kelly's got around Visma. Gaffer now up the inside of Visma into one of the triggers corners and gets it done.
Great move. Great move by Tony. Yeah, he lost out there at the start of the race. Driver currently in 4th position. He's going to be wanting to get right back up there. He certainly knows how to put a championship run together, Tony. I've seen him across a couple of seasons. He always has a good championship finishing position.
Nash and Tanik now starting to come into lap traffic. Good and Yesberg already a lap down. Who might that be in front of him? I believe that might be David Leslie in front of these guys here. So he's going to be coming into the... Either Leslie's going to be coming into the pits or he's going to be going a lap down. What do Nash and Tanik do now, though? They're going to be coming across the line to start lap 14 very, very shortly. Do they jump in the pits now or do they stay out for 1 or 2 more laps? There hasn't been a safety car yet. They've gone safety car free. The cars are light. They're starting to run low on fuel. The boys stay out for 1 more lap. Leslie's in the pits.
Yeah,
so Nash and Tanik are going to be pitting at the end of this lap.
Yeah,
they have to, Dean.
Yeah, they got the cooperation they needed for there. from David Leslie. So, but I believe, yeah, we're going to be right at the end of the run here. It's been green light. Simon's having a look up the inside of turn 1 on Justin. Justin's got the line to defend here into turn 2. So, yeah, good car positioning from him. And
Has the speed out of Simon Vala's Mustang, Dean. We see it week in, week out. Vala on the straights just absolutely pulls away from these drivers.
yeah, I remember after a post race, he's making a move here into it's a Hancock. Justin's going to let him go here. He sensed the run was too strong to defend there, so rather than give up too much time, he's let him go by. So a really nice move by Simon, and yeah, he has got a lot of speed, Matty, like you were saying. That car's hooked up. Going back to when we spoke to him earlier in the season, he said he was moving house. He was down on a bit of pace through pre-qual and the first 2 rounds, but now, since then, he's looked like he's got the thing on absolute rails.
He's got the wings dialed in. He's got the arrows dialed in on this car. That's for sure, Dan. You just watch him down the main straight, especially Gardner. Once again, he has a bit of a slide, though, coming in into the 11. Gets a little bit squirmy out of 10. And you watch how quick he pulls away from Justin here on the straights. Just watch this, ladies and gentlemen. The aero and the car setup for Justin Pettifather has a big moment. How about that for a save, ladies and gentlemen? I was about to say, watch how quick he pulls away from Justin Pettifather, but when Justin Pettifather does a move like that, ladies and gentlemen, of course you're going to be pulling away extra quickly. As Tanik and Nash are in the pits now, so Velo reckons he can run 15 laps.
Yep,
Pettifather reckons he can run 15 laps. Same with Mulford. Davis is in the pits as well, along with Stead Miller, Daniel Schultz, Andrew Johnson now in the pits. What does Tony Gaffer do? He stays out for one more lap. Bismuth are in the pits. So Vela, Pettifather, Mulford, Gaffer. Oh, Tanik gets a pip over Nash. On pit lane. It was a race on pit lane. Where's this now? Put them out in the field. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, there are pit strategies galore through the field. So the whole entire field is going to be jumbled up for quite some time till we get the final pit stops done.
Yep, so all the cars...
Bella, Pettifather, Mulford, Gaffer, and Banks. And
like
Tommy Foster do the long run.
Yes. Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Basically, the cars in front are still yet to pit. Some of the early stoppers I thought maybe might have been able to get in front on the undercut, so the boys have worked it to a T there. But Bella's in now, so now we're about to see, an extra long fill maybe from Simon, or he could elect basically to now take 10 litres less and not a moment for Bruce Tanik there. Heading the right, something David Nash is going to get back past, but they're going to have to negate these it's not lap traffic, but the out of sequence cars in front of them, and this is going to work into Simon's hands.
Bella's in the pits now. He's in his box. Pettifather in the box. Mulford's in the pits. What can Tanik and Nash do? They've got Banks and Gaffer in front of it. This is really slowing him down. Look at Nash. He's got lights ablaze. That's all over the back of David Leslie, is it? Yes. So David Leslie now goes a lap down. Vala's now moving. So Vala took the short stop. Vala took, Simon Vala took a long stop, 23 seconds. And there goes the right, boys, zipping past Vala. That just goes to show the speed difference on Gardner Straight.
Yep, that's worked really well for Simon though, and he's got to get through these next couple of cars though. So I think Timmy Mulford might have been the one that takes the short fuel and took the track position away from Simon. It's
Mulford with the short fuel, 12.58 seconds. So he's gone for the splash and dash now, which means he's going to be doing a 15-lap stint on the run home with fresh tyres and a full tank of fuel. The dribble sticks. David Leslie gets out of the way of all these drivers. Is it's mayhem. It is mayhem coming through Honda Corner.
It's back on now. All these early stoppers are caught back up, and just the traffic around pit exit there. It was hold your breath moments because there was a few cars swerving left and right trying to avoid the traffic feeding back onto the racing line.
I wonder if we can get a replay of the pit exit from Simon Valla and get a front on cam from down the bottom of Gardner Straight. Just watch the traffic. As you can see him coming over the top of there, Lukey Heights, ladies and gentlemen. The traffic is phenomenal. And if we can get a replay of what it looks like from the bottom of Gardner Straight, of all the traffic coming over the crest, and Simon Vella coming out into what seemed to be like absolute mayhem. There was cars going left, right, and everywhere. But look at this. Nash and Tannick, they're trying to run. Mulford, 1.8 seconds down the road. Vella all over the back of Mulford now. Can he get him into Doohan corner? Up the inside of Vella goes. That gives Mulford the right line into the southern loop. Turn 2. Mulford's able to get back around Simon Vella. So this battle's going to be going for some time. Can Simon Vella get the run? We know he's quick on the main straight. Look at him in the toe here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Vella in the toe. What does Mulford do? He hugs the left side. That allows Vella to go up the inside and take the position away, and it's in the Honda corner. And Mulford just says to Vella, go on by, I'm not going to bother battling you. Goodyear Auto Care run of replay here, ladies and gentlemen. And is this what I think it is? This is Simon Vella. Look at this. Look at the traffic on pit exit. Look at this. You see him coming around turn 12 down the main straight. And Eddie's mayhem. How about that getting a surprise?
It's Pitt Street in Sydney, that one.
That looked like Cavalab on a Saturday night in Queensland, that's for sure. Bruce Tannick, David Nash, Bruce Tannick, like your current race leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Then it goes to Simon Vella, Timmy Mulford, Robbie Bradbury, Troy Allen, Stephen Martin, Cole Zink, Justin Pennefather, Benny Siren, Jamie Davis. Down in 11th position, though. Benny Siren rounding out your top 10 there. And Benny Siren was able to get the pit done with a 14.98 second pit stop. So he's gone for a short fuel as well. A lot of different strategies tonight, though, Dean.
There's plenty. We're not really going to see the true running order here until the second stops are complete. This is one hell of a freight train that's developing here for cars from fifth place backwards. And this is Phillip Island to a T. This bumper to bumper racing. And as soon as you make a mistake, you drop off the train. So it's the last man standing. You grip the wheel and you hold on.
You'd be wanting to be live in the car right now, do you? Because you'd be wanting that cool air, that cool ocean breeze, should I say, coming into that cockpit, because these drivers are going to be sweating. Have a look at that for a move. 2 for the price of 1. Roy Allen up the inside of Robbie Bradbury. Stephen Martin went to go up the inside of Bradbury. Couldn't get it done on his teammate. And how about that for a big dive by Troy Allen, ladies and gentlemen? What a move that was in the Honda corner. A tricky corner to get it pulled up with, but Troy Allen was able to make it stick as he goes past the hay shed now, and he's already gapped Robbie Bradbury by at least 8 car lengths.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. We did see some cars last night take tyres in the first stop, especially those drivers that could do the 18-lap first stint. Because that is half race distance. So when you take your one set of tyres for the race at half race distance, you're effectively splitting the tyre strategy 50-50. So it'll be interesting to see here over the coming laps whether any drivers have a really significant pace advantage.
Yeah, we did see the pace advantage last night play out to some and not play out to many, but Nash and Tannick go around to start lap 20 of 36, ladies and gentlemen. 16 laps to go in the Racecraft Simulations Phillip Island 160, round 11 on your Wednesday night motorsport as well. And this is really the pinnacle round leading into Bathurst. This is really going to tell us who's on the run for the championship win. But it all gets mixed up as our director always loves to throw a spatter in the works. Always loves to throw a spatter in the works and gives us double points next round. So that's really going to shake things up again and really put drivers, stress limiters going up into the red zone at about 8,000. So we'll have to see what next week pans out. And by the looks of it, we may be getting a top 10 shootout as well, Dean. So we'll stay postponed on the social medias for that one, ladies and gentlemen, to find out exactly what's going on, because we do get a top 10 shootout. Join us on Monday night for a little bit of qualifying and the top 10 shootout to find out who's going to be starting where at Bathurst. But we'll keep you updated on that one. As we've got one of the Dragon RC cars, car 64, that's Daniel Schultz all over the back of Stephen Lawrence at the moment. And those Dragon Eyes, you really don't want them sitting up behind you, Dean. No,
he looks menacing there, doesn't he? He's a good aggressive driver, Dan. He will position his car and fight every inch of the track, regardless of where he's coming in the race. Just having a quick look through timings, Dan has another little sneaky look down into Reed Park. Can he make it work? he gets alongside, but I think Stefan's got the defensive line there for the last turn. But Jamie Davis looks like he may have lost out in all that traffic that we've seen now. He's back down to 11th, Matty.
He's got a couple drivers that have pitted a bit earlier than him. He's got Timmy Mulford. He's got Stephen Martin, Robbie Braber. He's got quite a number of drivers that have taken a 6-second or more shorter pit stop than what he did. So, really, as you said, Dean, we're not going to be finding out exactly where everyone's going to be sitting. There's absolutely chaos down here. Absolute chaos.
The boys
Stephen Martin, Benny Siren, Kyle Zink, Justin Pennefather, and then Jamie Davis is just playing nice and cool to see what's going on here. There's positions being exchanged everywhere through Honda, and it's absolutely mayhem at the moment. It's five all the way back to 11, so it's what, a 6-car freight train on lap 21. Most of these guys are on used tyres, and really putting on a show for you at home, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're enjoying it from wherever you watch from in Australia and around the world. And as I was saying, Dean, we're not really going to know where everybody sits. Mulford in the pits now. So there's the short stint done for Mulford. So now watch for drivers starting to filter in where they should be. And this is what I was trying to get to, Dean. A lot of drivers took the early one. And we're not going to find out exactly where everyone sits till the final pit stops are done.
Yeah, this is the critical lap, 22-23, to fill your tanks all the way up and get home. So, crucially now, Simon Veller's... it's Stephen Martin lighting them up out of turn 2 off track. But crucially now, Simon Veller's joined the group at the front of the race.
Well, what better time, ladies and gentlemen, than to go for a hot lap. David Nash is halfway through his lap at the moment, lap 22. He's coming up past Haitian, so we'll stay on with him just for a little bit till he gets around to turn 12, and then we'll get you guys at home to crank that volume to 110 if you can get it there. And listen to Nashy, the man at work in the 911 ZB Commodore for the Riot Sim Racing Crews. Our current leader of the race, his teammate Bruce Tannick, holding him tight. And we'll get... Nash into the pits. Tannick stays out. So we'll jump over to Tannick and go for a hot lap with him, ladies and gentlemen. So crank up the volume and listen to Bruce Tannick take it for a hot lap around Phillip Island. Bruce Tannick dives into the pits, ladies and gentlemen, to try and get the undercut on his teammate, David Nash. That promotes Simon Veller to the race lead. Jamie Davis in the pits as well. And Jamie Davis dives into the pits after Bruce Tannick. Can he gain a little bit more time on Simon Veller here, Dean?
Yes, well, with the tyres, the way that Simon had stayed out long for the first stint, so... And he showed great pace on old tyres, but, hopefully that Bruce is in and Nash is now coming back past the line. Possibly going to get Bruce here to get back into the front of the race, as he does. Boys looking to essentially cancel Simon Veller's undercut there.
And a big undercut there by David Nash. And look at the time that he's made up there, Dean. 4 seconds on Tanik there. 4 seconds Nash made up on Tanik. So Tanik actually stopped for 2 seconds longer than what Nashy did. And obviously just played it safe on the fuel cards.
Yeah, well, we did see Brucey come down off the jacks first in the first stop. So potentially maybe try to have the sneaky one there and take a little bit less fuel on the first pit stop to try and get the lead of the race, because he was all over the back of Nash for the first stint. Now we got to have a
Does
look
Vela
here.
cover him now, though? Vela runs out wide. No,
Again.
stays out for another lap.
You know, who dares say whether this is the right call or not after last week when he stayed out for a long time and actually gained an advantage. So, yeah.
Well, we know he's quick on used tyres. We know that Century Motorsport Mustang, we know it's good on its tyres.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something to watch. I think it's one to watch, especially leading into next week going to Bathurst. We know Bathurst is really cruel on the tyres. So Vela's going to be one to watch for, that's for sure. We know the tyre usage around here, and that's one thing that I want to keep in mind for these guys. It's a cold track. So the tyres around here, the grip is going to be high for them. But it's a higher tyre degradation track as well, Dean.
Yeah, it is. It's always been savage. The high speed nature of the corners, you need to preserve your tyres so you can maintain a lot of momentum mid corner. With Simon and his old tyre pace, we've seen the guys at Century Motorsport, namely Cam Jones last night as well, running really, really strongly towards the back half of the season. So they're investing a lot of time into their setups, and it's paying dividends for them, it would appear. Simon now, we're looking now probably being the crucial time for him to come in and potentially execute that shorter fuel.
And get the shorter fuel now. Here he goes into the pits. Vela into the pits. He gave 6/10 away to Nash that last lap. So what's this going to do for Vela in the short fuel? David Nash, 12.23 seconds on the fuel stop. Simon Vela's in the pit lane. He's transiting down the pit lane. We'll let you know when he's in the box. He's in the box now. Vela's around turn 11. He lines himself up for... Nash is around 11. He lines himself up for 12. He gets the run on a Gardner straight. Vela's in the pit box. He's out. 10.75 seconds to Vela on the pit box. Nash has the run down the main straight. Blows by him. And where's this going to put Vela in front of Tanik? Tanik is just too far back to contend with Vela. So Vela's got a big undercut over Bruce Tanik, or the overcut on Bruce Tanik. And Vela has set his sights on David Nash. He's only 2.5 seconds down the road. That is big, Dean.
Yeah, that's another well-executed overcut. He did go real deep in the first stint, so that time differential there is probably all down to how much fuel he had to take on board, being a lot less than the other two cars. So he's looking real racy, and even the 2.5 second margin is going to be, it's going to be tough to hold him off in this race.
Well, Jamie Davis, a big talking point. He's currently on the back bumper of Justin Pennefather. He's going to be wanting to make his way up and get around him to slot himself into what effectively will be 4th position. Here he is on screen now, hounding Justin Pennefather as they come and make the approach to Hayshed in the Loogie Heights. And if he can get around him, he'll effectively be 4th position once John Nikolaev makes his final pit stop for the race. What can Jamie Davis do? Throws it up around the outside. Can't get the move done, though. Little bit of a lock-up from Pennefather. Can Davis get the run out of 11 into 12 and get the run on Pennefather down the main straight of Gardner Straight and get the toe into Doohan Corner? We'll have to wait and see. And don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to light up very, very shortly. There's the toe coming to effect now. You watch him make up 2 cars. This is a matter of a second. He goes up the inside of Doohan Corner. Pennefather lets him go. And Davis makes his way past Pennefather for 5th position.
Yeah, absolutely nailed the exit there on the last corner to get that far inside. We got a car off track.
And Nikolaev off the track. John Nikolaev is off the track. And what's happening to John Nikolaev? He's due to make his final pit stop very shortly. But he's just making himself a way around.
Does he run out of fuel?
Oh no. John Nikolaev. This may bring the safety car. Or is he just letting cars by? No, he's played the smart move. Yep, he's played the smart move. He's I think he might be running low on fuel though, because he's running very, very, very slow.
It was jittery.
So I think Nikolaev may have just missed the pit box and missed the lap to come in, and he's realised he's now got to try and chug it around Phillip Island on the smell of an oily rag. But Simon Vella, look at Simon Vella, is 1 second away off David Nash. John Nikolaev is, by the looks of it, he was stopped. Don't know here. If we can try and get a little bit of an onboard shot to see what the sound of that car was like, we'd be able to tell. But Simon Vella is now 0.8 of a second. Simon Vella, fastest lap of the race. 1:28.69, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second quicker than David Nash that time round. And Vella is on a mission, Dean.
It's qualifying pace now for Simon, so it's all out attack. He's done all his preservation work. He's kept the freshest tyres out of the top 5 cars, so he's all out attack. Just the closing distance there coming into Honda hairpin. So, watch, Nash is going to have to get his elbows out, and he'll be relying on Bruce to come back into this fight too. So, try and give him a helping hand.
Hanning is quite a fair way down the road from Vella here, so a helping hand, maybe not so much. He's currently 4 seconds down the road from Nash and Vella, and then Jamie Davis is 7 seconds down the road from Tannick. So Davis has got a bit of work cut out for him to make himself up on the podium and try and play damage prevention in his championship point lead. Because Simon Vella is slowly nipping away at it, lap by lap, race by race, and he's now all over the back bumper of Nashy.
We'll see this rear wing take effect if he is running less rear wing here. Just slightly missed the apex there on the last turn. That might just be enough for Nashi to hold the lead here into turn 1.
Listen to the cars go through doing in a southern loop, ladies and gentlemen. We'll stay quiet and let you see what Simon Vella does through Druins and southern loop and down into Stoner Corner. Listen to the sounds of the supercar.
Just a fast, flat-out section through here, and the cars, as they start to drop off with tyres, they get tough to hold on to. It's sweaty brow time at the moment. The guys are working overtime here. Nash defensive into Honda.
Very good defense there by Nashi into Honda, but that really risks his run into Siberia and up into 7 and 8 past the hay shed. Vella is going to be hounding him for the next 7 laps to the race finish. 0.2 of a second separate him. That's what 0.2 of a second looks like. 0.15 now. Back to 0.2. Not much in it at all. Nash, Vella, Tannick, your top 3. Jamie Davis slowly hunting Bruce Tannick down. JD's got his work cut out for him this race. He had a poor qualifying and just got caught up in traffic. But the all eyes to the end of the race is going to be on this front 2 battling. And if Vella can get the lead, Nash, this is going to give him some very, very precious championship points to really, really battle JD for that championship win come next week at AEST. Through Southern Loop they go for another time. Can Vella get the run on Nash into Honda? Or is Nash going to play the defensive game from here on out?
We've seen Simon being strong down here into Honda hairpin. Nash covers him straight away. He knew exactly what he was going to be up to there.
But can Vella go around the outside? He's going to have a look at going around the outside of Honda. He's got a little bit of a run into Siberia. Has a nose onto the rear bumper. Can he force Nash wide and go for a drag race past the hay shed? Little bit squirmy from Vella off Siberia. Past the hay shed they go. Up to Lukey Heights. Side by side they go. They made contact. Nash and Vella made contact. They were able to get away with it. But that just goes to show how fierce these guys are at racing.
That I'm not sure how they managed to hold on to that one. That was big contact on a high-speed section of the track, but luckily they both lived to fight another day, and really no change in position after that.
Oh, that made the heart skip a beat or what, ladies and gentlemen, team. I can't believe those two got away with it. Vala's got to make up all that room again. But if David does get a very good exit on the turn 12, we just got told by JP, and it's noticeable. Vala just can't get the run on him down the straight, and that was noticeable. Then even in the toe, Nash managed to maintain 0.4 of a second down Gardner Straight. But this is where Vala's strong. Through Southern Loop, through Stoner Corner into Honda and Siberia. This is where Vala is strongest.
You were pointing out earlier, you thought maybe potentially his car was a bit more slippery in a straight line. Well, the aero wash out of the last corner would probably make that even more unstable for his car if he's following close to the car in front. So you might just be seeing a little bit of an equaliser there.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point you make there, Dean. Actually, the aero wash that do come off the come under the front end of these supercars is big. We say that they don't have much aero. Mix that in with a little bit of aero wash from the slipstream, and boy, gee whiz, it's you've got yourself one slippery bus that's got 650 horsepower going straight to the back wheels with no traction control and a diff lock. So these cars really do like to light up. And Simon Fowler makes contact with Nash. He hits the skids to try and redress the position, but that allows Tannic past. And Vala's just going to have to bolt. Car 6, drive through for unsafe rejoin, causing contact with... I can't see what car number that is, but Simon Vala is holding up. He's allowed Tannic past. He's going to allow Nash past. And guess what? This now... He couldn't get it done before the control line. That's what he was aiming for. So has Vala done all that? He's run wide now. Vala's run wide. He's run wide out of 2 and through the Southern Loop, cuts across the track, runs wide again, and Jamie Davis goes through. JD and Justin Penner are through. So this has hurt Simon Vala big time. Oh, it's all come undone for Simon Vala in the closing moments of the race, Dean.
Oh, it's high drama, Matty. That's, yep, it's compounding mistakes for Simon. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, couldn't quite get the redress done before the start-finish line as well. And all of a sudden, after being pretty much thinking like he might have been out of the equation for the race win, Bruce Tannic finds himself at the lead of the race for the first time.
Oh, we're hanging our heads in. We've got our heads in our hands in the commentary booth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a Goodyear Auto Care run, a replay of what really happened, and get a slow-mo version of this. They're battling it up over Lukey Heights. They make the dive into turn 10. On board here with Simon Vala. From the roof camera, Nash runs defensive. And defensive he run. Didn't give Vala a good enough opportunity. Vala cuts in. He's got the more pace than what Nash does. Nash tries to check Vala up a little bit mid-corner. And Vala just makes contact ever so slightly with the rear bar. And Nash, unfortunately, gets spun around. Simon Vala plugs the brakes on straight away mid-track to try and redress. Has a look at the rearview mirror and just saw that Nash was taking his time getting back on track. So he's gone to bolt to get out of the way. And unfortunately, just couldn't get the redress done by the control line. Then makes a fumble into Doohan's corner. And Simon Vala now sees himself all the way down in 5th position after such a strong race by that man, and has promoted Bruce Tannic into the lead for the first time for the Racecraft Simulations Phillip Island 160. Jamie Davis now sees himself on a podium and getting some very crucial championship points over Simon Vala. David Nash sees himself now in 2nd position. Car 393. There it is. 393, Simon Vala drive through for causing contact with the 911 of David Nash. And there goes Simon Vala's race.
So unfortunate. Yeah, for Simon, I don't believe he was trying to do anything bad there. It's just with that shallow line that Nash took, he essentially had to stop his car on the apex to not run wide. And I think Simon has just been caught out there. and didn't expect him to be moving so slowly at that point in the corner, and he's just bumped the rear. It's yeah, that's unfortunate for Simon.
It's unfortunate for Simon Vella. And we'll get you some very technical rulebook terms for you as well, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a bit more insight to what these drivers have got to go through their head while they're out on track trying to negotiate 650 horsepowers of ice skating bus. That's the only way to put these cars, really, Dean, is that they're just ice skating buses. They've got no aero, they've got a hell of a lot of power, and they handle like buses. It's the only way to put them. And to navigate your fuel numbers when you want to pit, what's going out on track, where's the guy that you're trying to chase down, trying to navigate all that. Yes, some people have crew chiefs and spotters. Others are just doing it on the fly, and to do that is incredibly difficult. So we'll get some technical terms from the rule books for you, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to redressing. And we'll get them up. Thank you very much, JP, for that message. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Rule 11.4.2. All redressed positions must be done before crossing the control line to commence a new lap. Failure to do so will result in a penalty from race control. And unfortunately, Simon Vella missed out by the slightest margins. It would have been 2 or 3 car lengths. He was across that control line, Dean, and unfortunate for him, just could not get it done in time.
Yeah, it's for the contact to happen there in the second to last corner. It gave him little to no time to try and get the redress done. Yeah, you talk about these cars handling like buses. Well, they handle even worse when they're on the grass. He would have been begging David Nash to get going because he would have been watching Jamie Davis coming up behind him, and he wanted to get the redress done and still stay in front of Jamie Davis at that point. But yeah, Nash, he couldn't get the car moving off the grass quick enough, and Simon's just basically, I think, conceded there that he was going to get the drive through.
While all that's happening, we've been focusing on Simon Vella. The field has now spread out to a nice, even pace. And there's not many battle packs forming. There's one between Bain and Bradbury and another between Miller and Zink. Miller and Zink fighting inside the top 10 there. And Bradbury trying to get around Bain at the moment to try and make his way back inside the top 10. But Tannick, Nash, Davis, Pennefather, Valla, Siren, Allen, Miller, Zink, Mulford, your top 10. Car 85, drive-through penalty for contact on the 958. So that's Timmy Mulford on the 958, which would be Kyle Zink. And Mulford's going to see himself for the trip to pit lane. Bruce Tannick takes white flags at Phillip Island. The last lap. He's had a quiet one. He was hounding his teammate Nashy all race long. Unfortunately, couldn't get the final pit stop right. But he's found himself in the race lead in the dying moments of the race. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? You play it nice and safe, and sometimes the race can be gifted to you in a blink of an eye, and that's what's happened to Bruce Tannick. They've got themselves a nice buffer over Jamie Davis. Jamie Davis is currently 6 seconds away from the race lead, 4 seconds behind David Nash. And can we be seeing a Riot Sim Racing 1 and 2 formal finish? I think the only formal finish that we could be seeing for the season as well, if I'm correct. JP might be able to help me out on that. Dean, we only saw you join in at the... yeah, well, there we go. We just got confirmation there from JP, our director. No formal finish so far. Bruce Tannick slows the ZB Commodore up. Nash is firing down the back end of Tannick. This is going to be a first formal finish for the RSRA Super 2E Series, and it's brought to you by the Riot Sim Racing crew. Bruce Tannick and David Nash take position 1 and 2, and what a race by these two up ahead. They led from pretty much start to finish after a poor start from Simon Vella. Jamie Davis takes third position, Justin Pennefather in fourth. Benny Siren with Troy Owen all over the back of him. Can he take out fifth position? Yes, he does. Troy Owen in sixth. Sted Miller and Simon Vella now battling out for 7th and 8th. Sted Miller holds off Vella at the line. Zink ninth. Oh, no. Simon Vella. Simon Vella, Dean, we just had confirmation here, and we believe Simon Vella never completed his drive-through penalty. That's big news. We'll get to that post-race for you, ladies and gentlemen. But at the moment, it's all about your man on screen right now from the Ryan Sim Racing crew, Bruce Tannick, who had an absolute stellar race. He played it safe all race long. He handed his teammate Nashi for majority of the race. Didn't get the pit stop done right, and then just held back in third position, running his own race, trying to pick off lap after lap to get to the finish and maintain a podium. And he's found himself in the race winning position, the race seat winning position. And he sees himself coming down for a trip to victory lane. And to top it off for the night, Right Sim Racing get themselves a formal finish. Dean, what an absolute fantastic race we saw tonight.
Yeah, that was high drama tonight. I'm not sure what's happened there with Simon in the end. He put it all on the line tonight. He put it all on the line there to try and close that gap as Brucey gets on the grass, and he's going to light him up. He's going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, Tannick definitely going to be enjoying this one. It's been some time since he's taken a race win. And we'll get back to you on exactly what's happening with Simon Vella, whether it be a race disqualification, if he did serve that drive-through penalty. We're just going to have to find out. But Bruce Tannick is really, really enjoying this one. Well, there we go. Simon Vella, lap 35, he came in. That would explain why he's down in 8th position as well. So, doesn't come up on our screens, ladies and gentlemen, that he's actually gone through the pits and served the infringement. It just had it as 2 pit stops as Tannick just parks it in the wall and decides to bake the absolute hell out of those Dunlop tyres. And he's going to probably wait till that motor goes. There's the motor starting to smoke now, and motor goes. So Bruce Tannick not only destroys those Dunlop tyres, but he's destroyed that 5-litre motor sitting under the bonnet of that Commodore. And there it goes. There's the big puff of smoke. So he's done it in style. Bruce Tannick destroys the tyres, destroys the motor, and takes victory for the Racecraft Simulations Phillip Island 160 and a drama-filled Phillip Island 160 as well, Dean.
That race had it all, didn't it? I knew Bruce wouldn't allow Nashi to sit there at the front early in the first stint, and maybe the reason why he stayed so long in the pit lane, as you can see there, he had plenty of fuel left on board, so he must have had some victory burnouts in mind at that point in the race, and it's all fallen his way.
Plenty of fuel, that's for sure, because, he sat on that limiter for quite some time and it ended up cooking the motor under that bonnet. But unofficial results for you, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Tannick, your race winner by only 0.16 of a second, or 1/16 of a second over David Nash, but that's due to a formal finish that the Right Sim Racing boys did and decided to pull one off for the first time this season for the RSRA Super 2 E Series. So it's good to see that the Right boys taking the big one on that one. JD in 3rd position. What was that? Sorry, JP. Call me the Don King of Sin Racing, JP says. JD takes out 3rd position. Justin Pennefather takes out 4th. Benny Soren in 5th. Troy Allen in 6th. Sted Miller in 7th position. Simon Vella, unfortunately, taking out 8th position, 25 seconds down the road due to a drive-through penalty and a bit of a mistake there with Nashi. Skolzing in 9th. And Jonathan Bain from the Middle Finger Racing boys rounding out your top 10 there, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe it was another 4 dominant top 10. Robbie Bradbury, Tony Gaffer, Adam Moore, Peter Kelly, Timmy Mulford, Daniel Schultz, Andrew Johnson. I believe that's Andrew Johnson's best finish of the season, mind you. So congratulations to him from the E1 Sim Racing crew. Good race by you, son. Stephen Lawrence, Stephen Banks, and Jason Schooler rounding out your top 20. Tommy Foster, Scotty Barton, Tommy Foster, last car on the lead lap. So 21 cars on the lead lap, ladies and gentlemen. We start getting into the lapped cars. Scotty Barton, Alex Schuler, David Leslie, Anthony Visma, Stephen Martin, Mark Turner, Brian Good, Will Yesberg, Craig Gurry, rounding out your top 30 there. And then John Nikolaev, the only non-finisher tonight. And a big talking point as well, Dean, is Mark Turner down in 27th position. Not where he wants to be. leading into the final race coming to next week, where we head to New South Wales Bathurst for the final race of the season.
Yeah, that's another one that's got away from Mark Turner. We seen that last week where he shot to the lead of the race, or this week he was right up there in the front and just suffered a pit lane infringement again this week. And obviously things have gone from bad to worse for him later on in the race.
Well, it's post-race showtime, ladies and gentlemen, so stick around, grab a cold beverage, grab something warm, something cold, and sit back and have a listen to what these drivers have got to say about such a drama-filled, action-packed Phillip Island 160. And we've just been notified as well through the ears that for the first time, another first for the RSA Super 2 E-Series, and I believe across both Tuesday night and Wednesday night motorsports, nobody, that's right, nobody got a clean race. So that is no extra bonus points for anybody tonight. 5 extra bonus points for a clean race, 5 for pole position. So Simon Vella will get the 5 bonus points for pole position. That will help him maintain that even lead, that even gap between him and JD at the moment. But yeah, nobody with an extra 5 bonus points tonight for a clean race. So I believe that's another first as well for the RSA Super 2 E-Series. And I believe across both Tuesday night and Wednesday night motorsports. But to the post-race show, ladies and gentlemen, some driver interviews coming up for you right now. And JD, mate, we'll start off with you, our third place sitter. Bit of a shaky qualifying for you tonight, but you had an absolute stellar race start. Made up 4 positions straight off the bat, and was hunting down Simon Vella very, very quickly. He got a very shaky race start as well. And then once the pit stops and that played out, you sort of dropped down the field. How did the night go for you overall?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Qualifying, struggled. I just couldn't get the balance right, the bars right or anything, so I just tried to bang out as best I could. And just tried to put the race together, which, it did happen. First stop, I just filled the tank right up to make the second stop as short as possible.
Mate, you saw you buried down there at the start of qualifying in 7th position, managed to make your way up to 12th. So you're able to get some form of sort of time out, and we know your race starts. I mean, they're next to perfect. We see you absolutely fly off the race start, and if you can get yourself a pole position, we can usually see you lead from start to finish. Going through the race though, I'm a big follower of you for this season. You've driven absolutely amazing. You've had some amazing comebacks and through the field. JD, you had me a bit worried there. You were down in 11th, 12th position at one point, and I thought you weren't going to come back from it.
Yeah, after qualifying poorly, just sort of, the first couple of lap gaggle, made a little mistake and bumped Troy Allen wide and redressed that. But yeah, just my intention after that was just to fill the tank up, first pit stop, and then just run around to make the second stop short with about 12 laps to go and just drive as hard as I possibly could.
Mate, looking into obviously tyres, we know that you struggled a bit with tyres throughout the season. We know that you tend to burn them up pretty quick. Being a high degradation track at Phillip Island is, how'd you go with them tonight? Obviously having the colder track available.
One thing I've learned over the last couple of weeks, I've taken the lead weights out of my right foot now, so that's kind of helped a lot with burning through the tyres and stuff. But yeah, you can't really help it with this track. You have to be so smooth to try and look after the tyres.
Smooth, you got to be on the throttle. You've got to be smooth on the steering input, your throttle input, your brake input. You've got to really be delicate on everything. So, but nevertheless, mate, congratulations on another podium for the season. Last little question for you. Simon Vella in hot pursuit of you. Making you a little bit nervous leading into double points round?
We know what we need to do, but as motor racing, everyone knows anything can happen, so it's not over until we all cross that line next week.
And it is Bathurst. You never know what Bathurst is going to throw at you. Bathurst
exactly right.
Bathurst runs the race there. So, mate, stick around. We'll get some thanks for you and look into next week as we head into the final round for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. I can finally get it out. I'm having a little bit of a tongue twister there. Moving on to second place sitter tonight. finished where he started, not because of his own doing. Unfortunately, had a little bit of a mishap with Simon Valor. But Nashy, mate, welcome back into the commentary booth. Congratulations on second position and a bit of a formal finish there, and bit of a recap from your night.
Yeah, it was good. Qualified all right. Just couldn't seem to get any quicker in qualifying. So it was a very start of the session, and that was quick, and that was it. Simon had a bit of a shocker at the start. Then I just had Bruce breathing down my throat for 20 odd laps, which made me nervous. We made each other nervous a few moments there, but that's we got through it. And then Simon, I knew he was quick, and he was just closing down so quick. So I was covering my line, and that he gave me a tap, and that he readdressed, which was good on him. That happens, but a bit of a pity. I felt like I maybe could have come second. I came second anyway, but yeah, it was going to be a good battle.
Mate, talk us through that moment that Valor turned you around. Obviously, you guys, we know he's quick. It's clear to see that Mustang is absolutely blistering quick. He sacrifices a little bit of front aero in the in turn 12, but gets that run down the straight, and just that Mustang just flies down that straight quicker than any other car that we've seen across the two nights. So those Century boys really have that setup going well. Talk us through that moment with Valor coming into turn 10 as we've got it on our screen now.
Oh, I sort of just covered the inside because I knew that he was going to have a dive. I could see he was going to have a dive. So I thought I got through the apex, and then I don't know if I slowed up or he sort of sped up, and it was just a light tag, but it just sort of put me onto the grass, and that's all she wrote really. And could see he was really addressing, but it was late for that. That's all.
Right, we actually thought you might have checked him up a little bit on the apex, just to try and get that run out of 10 through 11 and 12, because we know that you were strong through turn 12 coming onto the straight, and you were able to maintain that gap between him. So we know that you definitely had the grip coming through 11 and 12. A bit unfortunate that you guys couldn't keep battling. It was really starting to heat up towards the end of the race. It would have been interesting to see what happened, but nevertheless, you still managed to make a podium and get some valuable championship points. So good stuff, mate. Tyres for you tonight, a big one.
Terrible. They just dropped. You get about 4 or 5 laps on at the start, and then after the pit, it was right. It sort of tires cooled down, but then they just dropped off and struggling to get it into turn 1. I know Bruce that he went off once, and it was just hard to get that. Just a lot of understeer. So it was nice to get that fresh set of rubber at pit stop.
And we've got Bruce Taney's little tacker in the background making a few noises. So we'll get straight into Bruce here, Dave. Hang around, and we'll get some sponsor thanks as well as we see Simon Vella. Just unfortunately, just couldn't get any worse for him. He made the tag with you, slowed himself up, redressed it, went off in turn 1, went wide through Southern Loop, out on the grass, lost the whole heap of positions, then copped the drive-through. So Simon Vella, unfortunately, just had an absolute shocker at the end of the night. Bruce, mate, welcome back to the booth to start with, and a big congratulations on the round win at Phillip Island.
Thanks, mate. Good. At the start, as Dave said, we stuck together. That was the plan. We probably didn't have quite enough pace. We hoped to maybe pull 3 or 4 seconds on the pack, but we both made little errors, I guess. And then it's always hard in the aero. And then I did all I could to throw it away and butchered both pit stops. Kind of stopped on an angle on the first one, and then went past the bloody whole lollipop on the second one, so I had to reverse. So I was hoping to come out and be in the mix, so all 3 of us could have a good battle. But I probably dumped 3 seconds in the pit. So, but hey, as motor racing, I just kind of backed off a little bit and tried to look after the tyres. And then obviously I was encouraging Nashy on Discord to make it as wide as possible, and thinking if there was an incident, then I could maybe get lucky. And yeah.
Right, we're actually then. JP and everybody at home were actually wondering what happened to you in the pit stops, and that just clarified it. So that's the joys of sticking around for the post race show, ladies and gentlemen. That gives you a bit of insight to what's happening. As we just lost David Nash very briefly, we'll drag him back down. Gives you a bit of insight to what actually happened inside the drivers' race for the night. Bruce, obviously you held down third position. You held down the 43rd position. Quite nicely towards the end of the race. You're running your own race, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, you were gifted first position. What went through your mind?
Oh, well, that was basically the only plan. Really, there was no way I was going to bridge the gap of 4 seconds after butchering the pit. So the only way was just to sit back and just kind of hope something might happen, and then just manage the gap to 4th place. So I'm not fast enough not to catch those guys from 3.5 seconds back or so. It's quite funny because in the first stint, obviously in Dave's toe, it was just easy to stay with him. I could drop back a little bit, pull up a little bit, and so on. But in the last stint, as soon as that aero or as soon as that toe's broken, you're just not really making it back unless you've put in a couple of really stellar laps. And then, as Dave said, I went off once and just little, lapses of concentration.
The 18-kilometre-hour headwinds down Gardner Straight definitely doesn't help the lead driver. And if you're by yourself, you're trying to make up time just by your own talent and tyres on the car. But mate, you got yourself formal finish. I believe Dean actually jumped down and told you to pull it up just a bit to get a formal finish. How did that feel for you?
Oh, I just told him, don't snake me on the line, you bugger. So, so no, that was cool. I mean, yeah, I don't, obviously you can watch it back and get some shots or whatever. But yeah, that's cool because obviously the Riot boys, we have a few fun nights and practice together and stuff. So we know how each other drives, and me and Nash are normally within 0.1 or 0.2 of each other. So it's never going to be a cakewalk. So.
Well, mate, stick around. We've got some sponsor thanks, and definitely look out on the socials as well for you guys and the ladies and gentlemen watching at home, because no doubt the formal finish will definitely make it to the post race. Should I say the recap, the race recaps on our social media. So look out for the formal finish between the Riot boys. Quickly looking into next week on the calendar, JP. We'll bring that one up before we get into the championship points. We are the first month, and to mention just quickly, being the first day of September, we now enter the mental health awareness month for growing mullets. So I'll quickly make a quick plug of that. Myself and FU Suicide, we are doing the mullets for mental health. So head over to the FU Suicide page and make a generous donation, whether it be $5, $10, $1. Doesn't matter. Any donations are accepted. And at the end of this month, I will be getting rid of the mullet. And whether I decide to do it live on the broadcast in a post-race show very, very quickly. Shave my head, JP says. I won't be shaving my head. I like the top of my head too much. But I'll be definitely shaving the mullet off, and I might even look at doing it live on air, whether it be a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. We'll have to see which night I prefer to do it on. But looking into next week, first, the final round. It's the endurance. It's the 41 lapper, and it is the finale for season 2 of the RSRA Super 2 E Series. And what a race it's going to be. We know everybody loves Bathurst. And boys, I guess the only thing left to ask is top 10 shootout. Excited? What are your thoughts, Nashy?
Yeah, pumped. It's good dynamic to bring to the series, and it's the whole track to yourself. So it's trying to simulate the real life world, and pressure will be on if you make that top 10. Sure.
Well, Jamie, 2 minutes and 2 minutes 3, 2 minutes 4, 2 minutes 5 seconds a lap around Bathurst. And for that, 2 minutes 3 to 2 minutes 5 seconds, you've got Mount Panorama to yourself. What are your thoughts, mate?
Well, been in one a couple of seasons ago. It's definitely nerve-wracking when you head out on your outlap, and then then everything for thinking about having the mountain to yourself goes out the window as soon as you start the lap, and it's just exhilarating every turn.
Brucey, mate, you've not only got the eyes of the 9 other drivers anxiously waiting in the pits, or the following drivers behind you anxiously waiting in the pits, but you've got the eyes of everybody in Australia who are watching and around the world on the RSRA platforms. Mate, what are your thoughts on the top 10?
I'll have to make it first because I've had some shockers in quality this year. So, but yeah, if I make it, I'll be happy. I haven't driven any laps at Bathurst in quite a long time actually, so better put some laps in, and going over the top, is really cool. I do prefer a single lap quali because, as you said, it's all on the line. And then, without no 0Xs over the top and down through the Dipper and Skyline will be pretty challenging, especially if you're throwing out numbers like 3s and 4s.
Yeah, 3s and 4s. It's doable. It is doable. Now being the open setup season as well, boys and ladies and gentlemen, expect to see those 3s and 4s maybe pop up in the woodworks, and especially with the new aerodynamics on the supercars. You never know what is possible. Dean, obviously you're not going to be competing in the top 10 shootout with these guys next week, but you'll be joining me in the commentary booth. But from a driver's point of view, what are your thoughts on the top 10 shootout around Bathurst? You've got 2 minutes 3 to 2 minutes 5 seconds a lap. You've got that whole entire lap to yourself and the piece of the mountain.
It's an exciting thing to look forward to for these guys in the Super 2 series next Monday night if we do go ahead with it. It's something that we've, as a prior competitor in the Super 2, we've always missed out on. It's always gone the way of the split one drivers. This season, it's the other way around. I'm spewing that I can't be part of it, but hopefully I see Nashi and Brucey up there because that'll be an unreal experience to get that one lap shootout on broadcast, be able to watch it back. That's what you race for.
Mate, I don't know what you're talking about. You're not missing out on much. You guys get to have probably one of the best races ever, and that's a super sprint with a reverse grid around Bathurst. I mean, what could you really want around Bathurst but a reverse grid? So, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get it, but no, it's definitely going to be one to look forward to. Quick question to our viewers as well. To whoever's watching on the RSA platforms, whether it be the SimShed broadcasting on the RSRA platform on Facebook, or our Twitch, or our YouTube. Leave us a comment in the section below. Do you want to see a top 10 shootout? Yes or no? Leave us your thoughts, and we'll get back to them next week and reply to them next week. And no doubt, if there's enough wanting from you guys and our drivers, you'll be seeing us on Monday night for a top 10 shootout, no doubt, and possibly a 20-minute talk, a little bit of a gander between Dean and myself on the qualifying as we lead up to that shootout. So leave us your thoughts below and tell us what you want. Let's get to those championship points. JP's got them up and ready as we get to 7 minutes to 10 on your Wednesday night, and look at that. 78 points now separate the top two. Jamie Davis with 1,579 points. Simon Vella, 1,501. Robbie Bradbury, 1,487. Tony Gaffer, 1,420. Adam Moore, 1,415. Kyle Zink, 1,408. Stephen Martin, 1,367. Jonathan Bain, 1,347. David Nash finds himself in 9th now with 1,337. And Scotty Barton with 1,298. And we'll go through the rest of the field. Mark Turner, Justin Pennefather, Alex Schuler, Daniel Schultz, Benny Sirens, Ted Miller, Timmy Mulford, Troy Allen, Bruce Tannick, and Stephen Banks. Then we've got Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Jason Schooler, Will Yersberg, Brian Good, Peter Kelly, Nathan Clive, Stephen Lawrence, Hayden Smith, and Anthony Vismer. And just a quick mention on Andrew Johnson. Yes, it was his best finish in the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. That was confirmed by himself tonight, and he will be staring down his first top 20 finish in the championship standings. Anthony Vismer, Craig Gary, Blair Van Reed, Craig Casper, Scotty Short, John Nikolaev, Gary Crittenden, David Leslie, Darren Robb, and Robert Brewer making out the field, or rounding out the field there, the 13th field. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's round it up. I'll start off on the sponsor thank yous tonight before we'll get a quick one from JD, David Nash, and Bruce Tanning. So a quick thank you to the Nationwide Technology Systems, Goodyear Auto Care, Warana, Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding Services, Blue Stampede Labour Hire, Dragon RC, Devon Stove Design, FU Suicide, SimShed Broadcasting, Track Cams 4 Gourmet, and SDK Gaming for all their track overlays. Jamie, JD, mate, lead us away on some sponsor thanks, and then we'll head over to David Nash and Bruce Tannick.
Thanks, mate. I'd like to thank AutoServe, which allows us to partner with Winds, High Tech Oils, Wolfchester, and Grip Clean. I spotted Tyson for doing an amazing job week in, week out, and all the competitors and everyone involved with this series. Thanks, guys.
Nash, mate, lead us away.
We have got SimShed Broadcasting, JP, obviously, for putting us all together, Maddie, yourself, and Dean in the commentary booth. FU Suicide, Capital Custom Works, Bliss Homes, building walls with holes in them.
Brucey, mate, finishes off with some driver sponsors.
Yeah, same as obviously the same list for Bliss Homes, Capital Custom Works, FU Suicide. The whole SimShed team is awesome. And just back here in New Zealand, MRX Sims, which I'm lucky enough to have and have let Nash have a burn on. And my spotter Riker, which is my little black staffy. He sticks by me every week.
Four-legged best friend as your spotter. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? There's a different one for you as well. But look, that's it from us. Dean, quick recap from you tonight, mate. Obviously, we'll quickly, before we hit over 10 p.m. or quick over 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, quick recap from you. Driver of the night and your thoughts overall leading into next week and tonight's race.
Oh, driver of the night's a tough one again tonight. I'm not going to go past our boys there at the front of the race. I'm going to take the bias option here and give it to Bruce. But just basically, when it mattered, he was there. He took the win. Another great race. It's still there, even though Jamie Davis has a 78-point lead. We go into a double points round. There's 300 points on offer for the winner next week, so this thing's wide open. Keep an eye out for those top three. The top three finishers, they get automatic promotion into next season split one. Pre-qualifying is tough. It is going to be extremely hard next season. I'm not even sure whether I'm going to be able to commentate, Matty.
Oh, mate, it's gonna be a tough one. Look, I really hope you do get to commentate. I mean, we'll worry all about this next week, and obviously leading up into our season 3, the final season for the year, and then we'll finish that off with the big run, the big one, the Bathurst 1000 in December, and I believe we have a date for that already. JP, when's that one? Not yet. So we don't have a date set in stone just yet, but we're looking around the 20th, 19th of December, roughly thereabouts, for the big one, Bathurst 1000, to see out the RSRA Super Series and Super 2 E Series for the year before we go away for Christmas and New Year's. But, ladies and gentlemen, what a race tonight around Phillip Island for the Racecraft Simulations. Phillip Island 160. There was drama everywhere on the track. There was battles everywhere on the track. And it was chaos with traffic coming out of pit lane. But overall, Bruce Sanic from the Right Sim Racing Mob takes it home with first position and a formal finish with his teammate David Nash in second. But from myself, Matt Davis, Dean Reddit, my co-commentator, JP, our director, and everybody in the RSRA, and obviously our podium tonight, we bid you farewell for Wednesday night motorsport. Make sure to join in on Saturday night for the Cup Car Series from 7:20 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then come back on Tuesday night to watch Zach Cabin and Chris Kisby take out the RSRA Super Series for the final round. And stay tuned on our social medias as well to find out if we are going live for a top 10 shootout around Bathurst. If so, we'll see you Monday night. If not, we'll see you Wednesday night for the final round of the RSRA Super 2 E Series. For now, though, good night.